Another great example of this is Gaulien Smith, the owner of G's Clippers. He started cutting hair at the age of 12, and he was one of six boys, so his dad cut all their hair because obviously it's going to be expensive to take six boys to the barbershop pretty often, and he wasn't satisfied with the way his dad cut his hair. So G got to hold in the Clippers and cut his brother's hair, and along with a lot of the kids in the neighborhood. When people started to ditch their barbershops and come to G for a haircut, he kind of realized that he had a talent for cutting hair, and all this practice that he had on his brothers and people in the neighborhood was paying off, and that he was becoming a good barber. So he went to school for it and eventually got a job at a small barbershop. After that owner shut down the barbershop, G decided that he wanted to go on his own and start his own shop. And he was super persistent, and he pursued that opportunity to start the barbershop. So he opened a shop with a couple barber chairs and eventually wanted to grow. So then he got a second shop. So he had two shops going at once. And he wanted just one location where everybody could kind of be at, so he wouldn't have to worry about two shops. So he purchased a building downtown Milwaukee now that houses 30 plus barbers operating in it. And when here's taking it back to like the beginning of where you don't know what went on through their journey. When G started cutting hair when he was 12 years old, he didn't know that it was going to be a huge barber shop. He didn't know that he was going to grow into 30 plus barbers and be very successful. He didn't know any of that stuff. So he didn't really have that planned out to get there. It kind of just came into his plate, fell into his plate, like I'm saying again. But that's not how it actually was. He took a lot of steps and kept being persistent and pursuing that to where he got today. And he's cut a lot of famous celebrities' hair, which is super interesting because you would never dream of that as a kid. You dream of it, but you wouldn't think it ever happened. Like he's cut the hair for Shaquille O'Neal, Ray Allen, Tyler Hero, Reggie Miller, Jason Kidd, and many more NBA ball players, which is super cool. But back to the topic of getting into the opportunity with G, is that it's constantly changing the landscape of the barbershop through what people need. And through his journey, he's changed into just having the barbershop, and now he's actually branching it out and adapting into having the barbershop with a wellness clinic inside it, which is called G's MKE Wellness Clinic. So this is where people can go to get educated and have standard health tests done, which is so cool because he's branching out beyond the walls of the barbershop in that he's just not doing haircuts. He's really getting involved with the community and building that trust and that reputation for being not only a good barber, but also a place where the whole community can come together and have a common ground for well-being and making everybody better. And this is another example of where G didn't think of this, nor did he really have the resources to do the G's MK Wellness Clinic in years past, or in the first couple of years that he was starting a barbershop. He would have never thought to think that he'd have a wellness clinic in his barbershop that people could come to get educated. And maybe that education even saves somebody's life because they realize that they have high blood sugar or their glucose is low and all these other tests that they can do at this clinic that he would have never really realized that he was able to do that in years prior. But through the growth and his eye-opening experiences and keeping an eye out for opportunities, he's been able to meet the right people, create the right relationships, and build the right community to make this all possible.